The giant peace station floated quietly above the red planet Zarin. Inside the shining halls of the station, humans and aliens gathered to end a long war. Diplomats wore bright robes. Soldiers stood stiff and silent. Peace was close, just one. Signature away, Ambassador Kira Voss stood near a wide glass window. Her eyes watched the stars, but her mind was elsewhere. Her son, Leo, was playing with his toy drone just down the hall. 2 guards stood nearby, watching him like hawks. Leo was only 6 years old, small, curious, always asking questions. This was supposed to be a safe place, a peace zone. No weapons, no threats. But Kira had been a soldier once. She didn't trust silence. Silence was where danger lived. She turned to her assistant, a young man named Yarrow. "Keep your eyes open," she said softly. Yarrow nodded. "Everything looks clean, Ambassador." Kira's eyes narrowed. "That's what worries me." Called over the station speakers. Final session begins in 5 minutes. All delegates to the main chamber. Kira gave one last look at Leo. He smiled and waved. She smiled back, then walked toward the chamber. She never reached it. An alarm rang. Loud, sharp, the kind that meant not peace. But danger, Kira ran. The hallway where Leo had been was full of smoke. One guard lay unconscious. The other twitched. Trying to breathe, Leo's drone was broken on the floor. But Leo was gone. "Leo!" Kira shouted, her voice breaking. She pulled her old sidearm from under her coat. She wasn't allowed to bring it, but she had. She always had it, just in case. The station locked down, doors sealed. Soldiers scrambled. Diplomats panicked. But it was too late. No sign of forced entry, no teleport signal, no video footage of who took him, just empty air. She dropped to her knees and picked up Leo's drone. One wing was bent. It buzzed weakly, trying to fly. Tears burned her eyes, but not from sadness. From rage, she stood up and grabbed a wounded guard by the collar. "What happened?" He coughed blood. "He just vanished. No flash, no sound. Something touched my mind. Like ice." Kira froze. This wasn't normal tech. This was something old. Something dark. Something alien. She stormed into the command center of the station. The other diplomats shouted, "You can't be here. This is a violation." Kira slammed her. Gun on the table. "My son is gone. I don't care about your rules." Earth's commander appeared on the screen. "Ambassador Voss, stand down. We will handle this." She stared coldly at the screen. "You don't understand. I'm not asking." She accessed the station's hidden data feed, one only war veterans knew about. She bypassed the locks hacked, the systems, and pulled all surveillance. The footage stopped 5 seconds before Leo vanished. Cut, corrupted, all that was left was a flash of shadow. And a voice whispering in the background, too soft to hear clearly. But one name blinked on the screen, marked in red. Black Prism Acidovique Rue's heart stopped. She had heard that name once long ago, during the war, a ghost group. No known. Leader, no base, no demands. They didn't kill. They collected people, minds, children with unique traits. They were a myth. She had never believed in them. Until now, her hands shook, but only for a moment. She wiped her face. The mother was gone. The soldier had returned. She walked back to her quarters, silent and focused. There, hidden under her bed, was a small black box. Inside it, her old battle armor, folded and waiting. The exosuit still worked. She slid it on. It hummed softly. She picked up her weapon, reconnected to her private ship's AI. "Raven," she whispered. "Power up." We're leaving destination. The AI asked. She loaded Leo's broken drone into the cockpit. "Wherever they took my son. Earth's command has ordered you to stand down. This will be seen as desertion." Kira locked in the coordinates to the edge of Varney's spaceware. Rumors of the Black Prism had last appeared. "I'm not an ambassador anymore." She sat in the pilot seat, face cold, eyes sharp. "I'm a mother." The ship roared to life. As it left the station, a dozen satellites tried to track it. She disabled them in seconds, then vanished into deep space. The hunt had begun, and this galaxy had no idea what was coming. The Varney system was not friendly. It was a place of lawless planets, hidden stations, and old battlefields full of broken ships. Pirate fleets ruled here. Even the strongest empires avoided it. But that didn't stop her. Kira Voss flew straight into the chaos. Alone, with one goal: find her son. Her ship, the Raven, was small but deadly, built for stealth and speed. It carried the weapons of a war. She once fanned the anger of a mother who had nothing left to lose. The pirate fleet saw her enter their space. They laughed. "That's just one human ship," the pirate captain growled. "Shoot it down." But as they locked weapons, everything went wrong. One of their destroyers exploded from the inside. No warning, just fire and silence. Then another and another. Panic filled the fleet. "She hacked our systems." One screamed, "No, it's she's inside our network. Get her out." But it was too late. Kira had learned to fight smarter, not louder. While they looked for missiles, she slipped her virus into their mainframe through a fake signal. Within 2 minutes, the entire fleet was blind. In 3, it was gone. Her ship hovered among the burning wreckage. A few escape pods floated in the ab. Dark. She opened a channel. "I want information," she said coldly. "Anyone speaks lies who die," one terrified pirate begged. "We don't know anything. We just work cargo runs." Kira sent him coordinates to an old Prism contact point. Then, "Drop this message. Kira Voss is looking for her son. She's not asking again." Then she cut the signal and flew deeper into Varney's space. The next day, whispers spread through the system. A name that hadn't been spoken in years. Kira Voss, some said. She'd gone mad. Some said she had become a machine. Others claimed she took down a fleet with one thought. The truth didn't matter. The fear did. Kira landed on Threx 9, a desert moon known for black market deals. She entered a dark bar, full of criminals, smugglers, and killers. All went silent when she walked in. Her armor was scratched. Her eyes burned with fury. And on her back, Leo's broken drone, now mounted like a banner. She found the one she was looking for. A cyber mercenary named Dren, once a codebreaker for the Prism before he vanished. He looked up, sweating. "I don't deal in kids, Kira." "Not here to argue," she replied, tossing a memory chip on the table. "This is everything I pulled from the station. I want names, locations, frequencies." Dren scanned it, tanned, froze. "You're crazy. You're chasing ghosts." Kira slammed her fist into the table. It cracked. The lights flickered. "Try again." Dren sighed. "There's an old listening post, half dead, on the edge of the Thalos Rift. It's Prism built. That's all I know." She stared at him. No lies. He held up his hands. No lies. She turned to leave, but stopped. "By the way," she said, her voice low, "you used to move Prism cargo, didn't you?" Dren's face went pale. "I stopped years ago, I swear." She looked at him one last time, then walked out. She left the bar. Dren let out a breath of relief, but hours later he vanished from the moon. No one saw what took him. Only a mark was left behind, burned into metal. A mother's wrath knows no limit. The listening post was half dead, just as Dren said, floating in space like a ghost. Lights blinking weakly, Kira docked without permission. No alarms, no resistance. Inside, the halls were dark, quiet, cold. She moved silently. Signs of a quick escape were everywhere. Chairs knocked over, doors jammed open, consoles wiped. But she found one untouched terminal in the back room. She hacked it. A list of names popped up. Most were alien, but one name glowed in green. Subject 317, Leo Voss. Category, type. Red. She stared at the file. Transfer scheduled to Site 9X Alien Vault. Encrypted coordinates attached. She downloaded the file. Then something caught her eye. A camera feed corrupted, but playing something. A dark room. A child in a chair, straps on his arms. He looked up. "Mom." Kira's heart stopped. Then the screen blinked out. No sound. Just that whisper, again like ice against her mind. You're not ready. She clenched her fists. Watch. Me. She walked back to the Raven, armor glowing faintly under the stars. Behind her, the station exploded. One more ghost erased. The Varney system was silent. Too silent, but deep in the shadows. The prism was watching. A strange signal echoed across deep space. It didn't come from a planet, didn't come from a ship. It came from nowhere, a hidden place between systems, writing old comms lines used in secret wars long ago. The signal was clear, cold, robotic. Kira Voss, you are being watched. Go home. This is your final warning. Duh. The message repeated 3 times, then it vanished. Kira stood in her ship's command room, listening. She didn't blink. She didn't flinch. Instead, she activated the Raven's main screen. A live broadcast began open signal. Everyone in Varney's space could see it. Pirates, smugglers, bounty hunters, even black market traders. On the screen, Kira held something small in her hands. It was Leo's broken drone. She showed its cracked body. Then, she looked straight into the camera. My name is Kira Voss, she said calmly. Someone took my son from a peace station. I've followed the signs. I've seen your games. She stepped closer to the camera. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I don't care how many names you hide behind. I don't care how far I have to go. I will find him. She leaned in, and when I do, I'll burn everything between us. Then the signal cut. Across the stars, a ripple of fear spread. Some called her brave. Others called her insane. But one group didn't speak at all. The Black, Prism. They had been silent for decades now. They answered. That same night, the Raven detected movement. 5 ships followed her through asteroid space. Fast, clean, no ID, no chatter. No mercy, Kira smiled. Finally, she whispered. She powered down her main engine and drifted among the rocks. Let them think she was running. She wasn't. She was waiting. The enemy ships surrounded her then. They fired, but the shots hit nothing. The Raven had already moved. She weaved through asteroids like a shadow. Her ship was small, but she knew how to use space. One by one, the enemy ships exploded. Not from outside attacks, but from within. Kira had infected their targeting systems. The moment they scanned her, they never stood a chance. Only one ship remained, instead of shooting it. She forced it to stop, then she boarded it. Inside she found one pilot, human, pale, shaking. He didn't speak as she entered the bridge. He didn't even reach for a weapon. She sat across from him. I'm not here to kill you, she said. Not yet. He stared at her. You don't understand. The prism doesn't forget. If you keep going, you'll wake things that should stay buried. She leaned in. They took my son. He swallowed hard. And he's not a child. Anymore, the prism doesn't just kidnap. They transform. Kira's hands clenched. Where is Site 9X? The man shook his head. Even we don't know. They use void coordinates. Random shifts. Like couriers carry the codes and only once. Then give me your last mission log. He hesitated. She didn't wait. She slammed a device into his console and downloaded everything. As she turned to leave, he whispered, If you go there, you'll never come back. She paused at the door. I'm not coming back, she said. I'm bringing someone with me, and she vanished into the shadows. Back on the Raven, the AI finished decoding the courier's log. It wasn't much just a small map fragment and a strange set of numbers, but Kira recognized the pattern. It matched an ancient Route 1 used by early Alentia lanes were built. Few remembered it. Fewer survived it. But she had, once she input the Alentia course into her ship. A red warning appeared. Destination unknown. No star charts available. Risk level, absolute. She ignored it. I've faced worse, she said softly. The ship jumped. For a moment, the stars twisted. The Raven flew through a forgotten tunnel of space, narrow, unstable, and deadly. Kira's hands stayed firm on the controls. She didn't blink, didn't breathe, until finally, the stars returned, and in front of her floated a giant black station. It was shaped like a twisted eye. No lights, no windows, but she could feel it watching her. The black prism's true heart, Site 9X. She had found it, or maybe it had allowed her to. Inside the station, deep in the control center, machines came alive. An old voice whispered through the darkness. She comes with rage, but her rage feeds the system. Child's voice echoed softly in return. Mom. Galaxy called Valak Station unbreakable, floated at the center of 3 major trade routes. Its shields could survive a supernova blast. It had 3 defense fleets, 20,000 automated drones, and a security AI named Ironmind said to be smarter than any living being. No one attacked Valak. No one even tried, until now. Kira Voss had studied Valak's design during her war years. She knew its weaknesses, not in the metal, but in the people. Systems like Valak depended on rules, orders, and fear. She was coming with none of those. She arrived cloaked, silent, drifting among trash haulers and cargo ships. Vessel Raven looked like a broken salvage barge from the outside, but inside, it was armed with tools for one job: break the unbreakable. Before the attack, she sent one final message. To the leaders of Valak Station, you have something that belongs to me. You have 10 minutes to surrender Site 9X access. Codes and release the child. You know who I am. You know what I can do. Your time is running out. Kira Voss. The response was simple. A laugh then. Silence. 9 minutes later. The station's outer sensors picked up a strange movement: cargo drones, drifting back toward the station. No one thought much of it, until one exploded, and another, and then 10 more. Each drone was loaded with impulse bombs, shutting down every automated turret in Section 4. Then, Kira launched Phase 2, using stolen Prism access codes from Site 9X's courier. She injected a virus into Ironmind's network. The AI tried to resist, but she didn't want full control. She only needed confusion. The lights on the station began flickering. Hallways sealed at random. Defense ships received fake orders. Some started firing at their own satellites. In the chaos, Kira flew straight through Valak's weakened shield, something no one had ever done before. She landed in docking. Base 7, suit armed, rifle ready. The guards were already waiting, but they weren't ready for her. She moved like a ghost, fast, silent, ruthless. Her exosuit's cloaking system made her disappear between flashes of fire. A plasma blade cut through walls and armor alike. Security teams were wiped out in seconds. She didn't kill everyone, only the ones who lied. Kira stormed the central tower. She left a path of smoke and fear behind her. The Prism's agents tried to stop her. They failed. She reached the main control room. There, she found Commander Tyrika, three-eyed alien who had once led Prism cargo operations during the war. He was known for cruelty and silence. He stood behind a locked shield wall. "You're a fool," Tyreek growled. "The station is one of 3. Even if you destroy it, nothing changes." Kira stepped forward. "Where is Site 9X? Where is my son?" Tyreek smiled. "He's more than your son now. It's becoming something greater. You should be proud." She didn't reply with words. She hacked the room's controls and shut off the gravity. Tariq floated midair, confused. Kira kicked off the floor and crashed through the glass using her blade. She grabbed Tariq by the throat and slammed him into the console. "Give me his location." Blood oozed from Tyrak's mouth. "You can't. Stop it." Kira activated her visor's truth scanner. "You're stalling." She dropped him, then pulled a memory drive from his belt wand that blinked with prism symbols. Site 9X's backup files. She had what she came for. She walked back to her ship through smoke, sparks, and bodies. The entire station was burning. Fleet Command tried to call for backup, but someone jammed their signal. That someone was her. Back aboard Raven, she inserted the stolen drive. A 3D map formed in the air. Site 9X was connected to something bigger, something buried beneath the crust of a dead world, a ruin older than any known race. An alien vault, and inside that, Vault Leo. But he wasn't alone. She zoomed in on a security feed. One camera still working. Leo sat in a strange chamber, glowing faintly. Wires ran from his arms to the walls. His eyes were open, but not fully human anymore. Kira's heart cracked, but her face stayed strong. "We're not done yet," she whispered. Behind her, Valak Station exploded in a slow, controlled chain reaction. Only one ship escaped, the ship of one mother carrying fire and fury. In the stars far away, the Prism leaders gathered in the dark. "She has the map," one voice said. "She's heading for the vault," said another. "What should we do?" Silence followed. Then one answer: "Let her come." Space was quiet, too quiet. Kira Voss had seen battlefields, black holes, even the burning skies of Orion 7. But this place felt different. This part of the galaxy had no name, no trade routes, no records. It was marked only in red on old war. Maps: "Forbidden, do not enter." Most said nothing lived here. That wasn't true. Something waited here. The Raven drifted into the zone slowly. No lights, no signals, just the stars and the cold. Inside the cockpit, Kira watched the coordinates. From Site 9X's stolen drive, the signal was weak, faint, but it was there. Leo was somewhere below. She took a deep breath and whispered, "Hold on, baby, I'm coming." She approached the dead world. The ship began shaking. Gravity waves pulled in strange directions. Time seemed to slow down. Her sensors spun in circles. Then, the planet appeared. It was gray and cracked like old bone. Lightning storms danced across its sky. No cities. Just one black mountain in the center, shaped like a claw reaching toward the stars. Beneath that mountain, an ancient vault. Buried for thousands of years, the Prism had found it first, and now they were using it. Kira landed the Raven at the edge of the mountain. She stepped out, fully armed. Wind howled across the rocky ground. Ah! Dust burned her armor. But she didn't stop. She followed the signal down a narrow path into the mountain. Her HUD blinked red. Warning: unknown tech field detected. Warning: temporal distortion active. Proceed with extreme caution. She smirked. Extreme. Caution left when they took my son. At the base of the mountain, a hidden door opened by itself. The vault was awake. As she stepped inside, the air changed. It was colder, heavier, like the mountain knew she was there. Lights flickered on alien symbols glowing in green and gold. Strange machines lined the walls. Floating orbs pulsed with data. The floor shifted beneath her boots like it was breathing. She kept moving. Then she heard it, a voice, a child's voice. "Mom." Her heart skipped. She ran down a long hallway, past glowing wires and silent statues. Then she saw him, Leo. He was in the center of a massive chamber. A glowing field surrounded him. He floated above the floor, wires connected to his arms, chest, and head. His eyes were open, but wrong. He looked older, stronger. His body didn't move, but his mind reached out. "Mom, I remember you." Kira stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "I'm here, Leo. I found you. They connected me to something big, showed me stars I've never seen. I'm part of it now, part of everything." Kira placed her hand on the energy field. "Come back to me. You're not a thing, you're my son. But if I leave?" The connection dies. The system collapses. They built this place to hold something, something that listens. I can feel it. Kira looked around. The machines hummed louder. The walls glowed brighter. Something was waking up. Suddenly, alarms screamed. A Prism strike team had entered the vault. They dropped from hidden portals 10 soldiers in full armor, weapons drawn. One of them shouted, "Step away from the subject." Kira turned slowly. No. They fired. But Kira was already moving. She leaped behind a support beam, returning fire with deadly aim. Her rifle spat blue plasma. Dropping 2 soldiers instantly, she activated a gravity mine and threw it into the air. It exploded, silently pulling 3 prism agents into the ceiling, crushing them. But there were too many. She ducked beside Leo's chamber as bullets flew past. "Mom," Leo said calmly, "I can help." Kira looked up. "How?" "The vault listens to me now." His eyes glowed brighter. The lights in the chamber turned red. All machines powered up. The walls moved, closing. In and around the prism soldiers, doors sealed. The air pulsed with energy then. The ceiling opened, and something rose. A giant construct half machine, half alien bones stood from the shadows. Its eyes burned with blue fire. The prism soldiers screamed. They fired everything they had. It didn't matter. The vault's guardian destroyed them in seconds. When it was over, the room fell silent. Leo floated gently back to the floor, the wires disconnected. He looked up at her. "I'm still me, Mom, but I'm also more now. I see things. Feel time like water." Kira ran to him, dropped her helmet, and hugged him tight. He hugged her back. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. "You didn't," he said softly. "You followed the fire." Back on the Raven, as they prepared to leave, Kira asked, "Can they follow us?" Leo smiled. "No, the vault won't let them." She looked out the window as the mountain collapsed behind them. The Forbidden Zone had given her son back. But it had also changed him, and the war wasn't over. Not yet, Kira. Voss had her son back, but the galaxy wasn't ready for what he had become. Leo sat in the cockpit of the Raven staring out at the stars. His body looked the same, just a child, but inside his mind, he was more. He could hear distant signals, ships moving through space. Understand machines without touching them. Kira knew the prism wouldn't stop, not now, and she was right. A warning flashed on the Raven's dashboard. Distress signal, origin, Delcer system, level, planetary emergency. Kira opened the feed. The screen filled with fire and panic. The planet Katha-3, a human colony in the Delcer system, was under attack. Prism warships were bombing cities. No warning, no demands, just fire. Civilians screamed. Defense fleets crumbled, and then static. Kira's hands tightened around the controls. "They're sending a message," she said. To me, Leo nodded. "They think destroying systems will stop you. They still don't understand mothers." Turned the ship around. Set course for Delsa. As the Raven entered the system, Kira activated her private channels, calling old contacts from her war days. She didn't have armies, but she had favors owed. Within hours, fleet gathered. Old rebel cruisers, broken pirate frigates, smugglers and stolen warships. Ex-soldiers with nothing left to lose. They came not for credits, they came for her. Above Kathia-3, 15 capital ships and 2 dreadnoughts. Their goal was simple: turn the planet into Ashdot. But then, something unexpected happened. Kira's ragtag fleet dropped out of hyperspace right in front of them. One prism officer laughed. "Is that it? Scavengers and traitors?" Then the Raven appeared in the center of it all. Kira's face filled the prism channels. "You burned our homes," she said calmly. "You hurt my people. You took my son." She stepped back, revealing Leo standing beside her. "And now we return the favor." The battle began. Kira's fleet hit the prism from 3 sides. Most of her ships were slower, older but smarter. They used asteroid cover, signal jammers, and decoy pods. They attacked weak points prism ships didn't know they had. Kira herself led a small strike force straight into the flagship line. Inside the Raven, Leo connected to the ship's system. "I can talk to their AI cores," he said. "Then shut them down." Kira replied. He closed his eyes, and the prism ships began to fail one by one. Engines stopped. Shields dropped. Turrets spun in circles. Firing at nothing then. Chaos. The rebels launched boarding pods. Pirates took control of enemy cannons and turned them inward. Smugglers dumped antimatter bombs into Prism hangars. By the time Prism realized what was happening, it was too late. Their ships weren't fighting a fleet. They were fighting a storm. And Kira was its center. She boarded the enemy dreadnought herself, with her exosuit and plasma rifle. She tore through armored guards and firewalls alike. She reached the command deck and found Admiral Rosek, the Prism's top military mind. He sneered at her. "You're just one woman." "No," she replied, pulling off her helmet. "I'm a mother." And she shot him in the heart. Back in orbit, Leo finished disabling the last Prism AI. The dreadnoughts began falling from the sky. Kira barely made it back to the Raven as the ship lifted off. Behind her, the Prism fleet collapsed. One by one, the ships exploded in slow, burning silence. The Delcer sky turned red. On the ground, survivors watched the fire rain down. Then a single message appeared on every screen. Every wall, every com tower. "This is Kira Voss. You took my child. Now I take your stars." That day, people began calling her something new. Not just ambassador, not just soldier. They called her the Mother of Wrath, and across 3 systems. Prism agents fled into hiding because they knew she wasn't done. Back on the Raven, Kira sat beside Leo as stars moved past. He looked up at her mom. "I can feel something else." "The vault opened more than just my mind," she nodded. "I know. We'll figure it out, together." He took her hand. "More are coming." Kira didn't ask who. She only smiled. "Let them come." The stars outside the Raven looked normal, but Leo knew they weren't. He sat silently in the dark, watching space. His eyes glowed faintly now, not from tech, but from something deeper, something ancient. Kira stood beside him, her armor still, dusty from the Delcer battle. She watched her son, but didn't speak. Finally, Leo whispered, "I can hear them again." Kira knelt down. "Who?" He pointed to the stars. "The ones that sleep, the ones the Prism tried to keep quiet." The Prism had never been afraid of humans. They had feared what the humans might find in the vault. They didn't just plug Leo into machines. They connected his mind to an alien archive older than the Prism. Older than the known galaxy Leo had. Touched it, and it had touched him back. Kira ran scans. Leo's brain activity was off the charts. He could read energy flows, hear radio signals with no translator, control machines just by thinking. But more than that, he remembered things that weren't his. "Mom," he said slowly, "I've seen civilizations rise and fall. I've seen worlds that no longer exist." She nodded. "That's what the Prism wanted. Not just your body, your mind." Leo looked down. "But I'm still me, right?" Kira gently held his face. "You're my son. That's who you are." No matter what they gave you, they followed Leo's instinct toward a dead moon in the edge of neutral space. No one had mapped it. No ships ever landed there. But Leo said that's where the voices started. Kira trusted him. The moon had no atmosphere, no buildings, nothing but black sand. But under the surface, deep in its core, something pulsed. Leo walked toward it like he knew the way. Kira followed, rifle ready. At the center of the crater, Leo placed his hand on a stone. It glowed. A door appeared in the ground. They entered. Beneath the moon was a chamber, larger than a city. Walls of crystal and metal curved in every direction. Symbols floated in the air, shifting, alive. Kira's suit couldn't read them. Leo could. "It's a warning," he said, "from the ones who came before." "What does it say?" "That they built vaults like the one I was in. To hold back something. Not to protect knowledge, but to keep something locked away." Kira's eyes narrowed. The Prism was using that tech. Leo nodded. They were feeding it, growing it. Suddenly, the room trembled. A light sparked from the ceiling, forming a floating figure, tall, thin, glowing blue. Not alive, but not fully dead either. Leo gasped. "I remember this." The figure spoke in a deep, echoing voice. child of Earth. You have touched the archive. You carry the spark. But the vaults were not meant for your kind. The signal must not spread. Kira stepped forward. What signal? The one waking in him, if it grows unchecked? It will open doors that should never open again. Kira raised her weapon. He's my son. He's not a weapon. The voice turned to her. He's more than human now. He is a key. Then the figure vanished. Silence returned. Leo dropped to his knees. His head hurt. His heart raced. He saw flashes of strange galaxies, wars between beings made of light and time. He looked up, scared. Mom, I think they're right. I'm unlocking something big. Something dangerous. Kira held him close. Then we stop it, before anyone else uses you again. Back on the Raven, Kira locked their coordinates. We need to hide, think, plan. But Leo shook his head. It's too late. He pointed to the screen. Hundreds of ships were jumping into the system. Prism, but also other strange ships with unknown shapes, alien signals, weapons no human had seen. Kira's eyes narrowed. Who are they? Leo's voice was calm. They felt me when I connected to the vault. Now they're coming to claim the key. Across the stars, secret empires stirred. They didn't care about Earth. They cared about what Earth had just created. A child who could touch forbidden knowledge. A human mind bonded to something eternal. And so, the galaxy stood at a choice. Let the boy live and change everything. Or destroy him before it was too late. Kira looked at Leo. He didn't look like a threat. He looked like a child who had seen too much. She smiled. Fierce and loving. Let them come. The galaxy watched as fleets gathered like storm clouds. On one side, Kira Voss and her son Leo, hidden deep in the Arcan expanse, preparing for what would come next. On the other, the Black Prism, backed now by something far worse, ancient empires awakened by Leo's touch to the alien vault. They didn't want peace, they wanted control of the key. Leo. Kira stood on the Raven's bridge, armored, focused, quiet. The stars ahead were filled with warships. Hundreds, maybe thousands. But she wasn't afraid. She was angry. And angry mothers don't lose. Beside her, Leo sat with eyes closed. His voice was soft. They're trying to get into my mind. Can you hold them out? Yes, he said. But not forever. Kira looked at him. Then we don't give them forever. She activated a wideband message one that went to everyone, pirates, rebels, soldiers, farmers. This is Kira Voss. They came for my son. Now they come for your systems. You can wait for them to burn your world, or you can stand with me. She didn't expect much. But something happened. Across 3 systems, Delsa, Varnies, and Kathas ships began to rise. Small ones. Big ones. Old war relics. Even mining haulers armed with makeshift cannons. People didn't rise because of politics, they rose because of her. They rose because they'd heard the story. The angry mom who took down a station to save one boy. Now she was ready to defend them all. The Raven became the command ship of a growing resistance fleet. Kira didn't have the numbers. She had something better, the will to fight, and a son who could rewrite the battlefield. The final battle began. At the edge of the Varnies barrier, Prism dreadnoughts charged in. Strange alien ships moved behind them, silent, massive, glowing with impossible tech. Kira gave her first and only order. Hold the line, no retreat. The first wave came fast. Kira's fleet met them head-on. Her people fought like stars on. Fire. Leo linked with the battle network. He boosted reaction times, jammed enemy signals, even cracked alien code. Mid-fight. Ships danced through fire like they had minds of their own, but it wasn't enough. Prism's flagship advanced. It carried a world-killer weapon designed to wipe out entire cities in seconds. Kira launched a solo run. She flew straight into its core defenses, dodging plasma bolts, slipping through shields. Inside, she planted a bomb powered by forbidden vault energy. As she escaped, she whispered, "For my son." Then the ship exploded in a star-bright blaze, but it cost her. The Raven was damaged. Smoke filled the bridge. Kira limped back, blood on her face. Leo rushed to her side. "I'm okay," she whispered. "Just tired." Outside, the second wave was coming, 10 times larger. Alien voices echoed through Leo's mind. "Come to us. You belong to the stars." He gritted his teeth. No. Stood, raised his hand, and did the unthinkable. He sent a reverse signal knot from his mind. But from the vault within him, a surge of ancient energy blasted across space. Enemy ships froze. Systems failed. Mind screamed. Then silence. All that remained was the third wave. The oldest ships, the real threat. Leo looked at Kira. "I can stop them, but if I do, I won't be the same. The vault will take more of me." Kira's face broke. Then, we leave, we run, we hide again. Leo smiled. "No, Mom, we finish it. You gave me your strength." He hugged her one last time. "Now I give it back." Leo stepped to the front of the ship. His body glowed gold. A pulse spread from him, quiet, endless, final. Across the stars, all prism systems collapsed. Alien ships turned to dust. Vaults cracked and crumbled. Whatever power had been waiting for him to open the gate. He closed it and locked it forever. When it was over, Leo collapsed. The war was done. The vault was gone. And peace returned to the stars. 3 days later, Kira sat on a quiet hill on a green world. Leo slept beside her, alive, but quiet. He wasn't a normal boy anymore, but he was hers. And that was enough. Across the galaxy, people told the story of the mother who defied empires, of the boy who became a key, of the war that ended not with fire, but with love. They called her a legend. But she never cared about that. She cared only about one thing, her child, and the home they had finally earned. Together.